Why do some people have success in the music world and others don't? I was thinking about this, and there's obviously a ton of factors: looks, talent, nepotism, just grit and determination. These could all be factors that help. But there's one secret factor that nobody is talking about, and I don't even think there's a word for it in the English language. Stick with me. And that would be the ancient Greek word of chyros, which means the right critical moment. Let me explain. This is not going to be as weird as you think. A lot of artists who have made it big attribute their success to perfect timing and being prepared when that perfect timing arrived. For example, one of the reasons Nirvana blew up was because their raw music was a perfect rejection of glam that was huge at the time. And when Smells Like Teen Spirit dropped right as the grunge movement was picking up steam, it was as if Nirvana got double bounced on a trampoline, which I think is a good analogy for perfect timing. Kids were burnt out on cheesy hair metal and they were ready for something authentic. Whether they knew it or not, they were prepared in this moment for their moment of chyros. So the whole point of this video is that artists need to be prepared for when these perfect moments arrive. Because you can be in the right place at the right time, but if you're not prepared, that opportunity is going to fly past you. Now, success means something different to every musician. For me, when I was younger, it meant playing 250 cap rooms, getting on festivals, and just touring and having fun playing music. Several years later, the band I'm in does well beyond that, so of course your goals start to change. But the biggest lesson I've learned at every step of the way is you need to be ready to pounce as soon as these moments arrive. Picture this. You're standing on a bridge in your hometown. Same old venues, same 20 people at shows, same drama, same BS. Then, you see a black and chrome Prevost tour bus flying down the highway with a neon sign that says Destination Rock and Roll Successville or some shit like that. That's opportunity and it's moving fast. The question is, are you ready to jump off that bridge and land on that bus and ride it out of town? Or are you going to watch it fly by and say, "Oh, those guys are so lucky"? Here's the thing, it's not luck. If you were prepared and waiting, that's chyros. Preparation meeting opportunity. So great, weird analogies with philosophical ancient Greek words are great and everything, but what does that look like in real life? Well, there are 3 pillars of preparedness that every artist needs to have if they want to get anywhere. This applies whether you're just starting out or whether you've been grinding for years. And these 3 pillars are music, branding, and networking. Fuck that film. First, the music. Don't even think about chasing shows until you've got songs that you would want to listen to. I'm going to say that again. Don't think about chasing shows until you have songs that you would want to listen to. Being prepared musically means you know how to write songs and you have demos that show people what this project is going to sound like. Demos are also a great way to build hype before you're actually ready to go into a big studio production. Pillar 2, branding. Unfortunately, your image matters, so if you're going to take promo shots, which you really should in the beginning, take a look and go with it. You can change it later, but as long as it looks somewhat intentional, and I get that usually if you're in like a punk band and shit, you want to look unintentional. I get it. I will quote a friend of mine from Flatfoot 56. He said, "When you walk into a venue, you should look like a band." He said he didn't really know what that meant, but I kind of get it. For what it's worth, look like a band. Combining a demo with a promo shot, boom, now your socials are ready to run. You can at least, it's essentially a business card that you can show people and say, this is what we look like, this is what we sound like, we're ready to start playing shows. And number 3, networking. This happens at every stage no matter what, or at least you should be doing it. Go to local shows, meet promoters, say, hey, I've got a new band, we sound like this, hit us up if you need an opener. That is called starting from the ground up. That's how opportunities start. Now I've used all these principles to end up in the band that I'm in now, so I think that means it is story time. Back in 2015, my band at the time, Mickey Rickshaw, had just gotten off the ground. We had 4 solid demos in place that showed what the future sound of the band was going to be, and we had like a few promo pics that kind of showed the band's personality. Of course, these promo pics weren't perfect by any means, but they showed the personality that it was like a New England group of kids playing Celtic punk. So right out of the gate, pillars 1 and 2 in their early stages were already solidified. Now, for pillar 3, networking, we were doing a lot of stuff at the time, but one of the biggest things that happened was from our fiddle player, Jake. He had gone on a festival on a cruise put on by a band called Flogging Molly. We knew that this cruise is the exact type of people that would like our band if anyone would. And they're all in one place on one cruise ship, so we were like, we need to get on the boat next year. Jake didn't know it at the time, but his networking skills were top tier.
He earned the nickname Nakey Jakey after a tequila-fueled spell of streaking and made friends with pretty much everybody. He made friends with guys in Flogging Molly, he made friends with guys in Go-Go Bordello, all these big bands, but most of all, he made friends with everybody who was going on the cruise the next year. So what we ended up doing was making a zero-budget music video and getting it out to all the shipmates, who then shared it around and said, hey, we gotta get these guys on the boat next year. They even started a change.org petition to get the band on the boat, which for a band that was just starting out is literally the best thing that could happen.
Hey guys, what's up? We're Mickey Rickshaw. We're looking to get on the boat next year, as you guys know. So here's a new song from our new album. 530 signatures in one day is absolutely incredible.
Flogging Molly's management saw the hype and said, all right, these guys are in.
We're on the boat. We got on the boat.
Congratulations, Mickey Rickshaw.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mickey.
Bravo!
This was a big chyros moment. We could have just played our set, kind of sucked, not had our shit together, and then people would have been like, yeah, that was fun, and then nothing would have happened. But we needed to seize the moment. We practiced our set, made sure it was loud, fast, tight, and still sloppy and chaotic at the same time. It was awesome. Tim Armstrong from Rancid watched our set and then 2 weeks later put us on his Sirius XM radio show. And then we got invited back the next 2 years. And this totally started the trajectory of this band. Through playing the cruise 3 years in a row, we made friends with Bouncing Souls, Interrupters, Big D and the Kids Table, and we started playing with all these bands when they would come to Boston. So it was a huge launch point for Mickey Rickshaw. Now, in the beginning, if we didn't have our shit together, if our music sucked, or if our branding just didn't really tell a story, people wouldn't really have cared. It would have just seemed like every other local hometown band who wants to get on big shows, because everybody wants to get on big shows. And through a whole series of events, years later, a much bigger band would come knocking on my door saying they needed a new lead singer. Those of you who know me know the rest of the story. Those who don't can probably guess what happened. So right there was another huge moment of chyros. So in conclusion, here's the truth. Opportunity doesn't usually knock. It comes driving by 80 miles an hour, and your job is to be ready to jump off that bridge. Now I want to hear from you. Do I sound completely insane, or am I onto something with opportunity plus readiness equals success? Because you can't just get lucky. You have to get lucky, but also be prepared. And have everything else in order. Music is pretty tough. Anyway, let me know what you thought of this format. I'm trying to style out for this video, and catch you in the next one.